What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, episode 86. I'm Dylan, alongside Mila and Grant, as always. I have finally learned that I am inversed when I do those intros. That's good to know. It's good that I got that right for the first time in 86 episodes. We got a jam-packed episode. United beat Everton today in one of the games of all time. City are going to keep up the pace with the title talks and with Arsenal. We'll talk about them at the end of the episode. And then in the middle there, we'll talk about Chelsea as they stunk up the gaff in the second half against Burnley. And Grant, I think, has some words to say about his squad. Should be a good one. Hopefully not too long, but you know with us, it'll always end up being over an hour. Let's kick on into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs. I'm Dylan. Please, they just got punched in the mouth. They didn't even know how to react.
That is one Derby Diamond.
I'm Mila. Do we want to do a little prediction? That was the last time they showed an initiative to go get a fucking player.
City are still alive here. Balotelli. Aguero.
I'm Grant. They're talking a lot about you 15. How will you respond 15?
We downgraded from Peppa. Do you know how absurd that is?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Alrighty, well, the predicky counter with Grant's PTO included had us all get 2 results. Welcome back, Grant. I should have said that in the intro, but whatever.
All good. Don't want to be here.
No predickies, just correct results. There were 4 games. Me and Mila got greedy with the Spurs result. Thanks a lot.
Did you guys both pick draws for Chelsea?
I picked them to win. Oh, no. We both got City and United.
Oh, okay.
Because there was 4. Yeah. We all had a 50% hit rate. We suck. Whatever. Plug. I don't even know what to say anymore. If you're not subscribed at this point, I really don't know what you're doing. And if you're not like just tagging along in the conversations, either on the pod itself or the videos that we're making every single day, then you're just making a mistake. And
most of you aren't subscribed. I'm also going to put that out there.
Yeah, that's the issue. You're not subscribed, and you should be subscribed, because then we can do this same exact conversation to the people that aren't subscribed later. You know what I mean? I feel like that's always the plug thing is like, well, if you're not subscribed, you should be subscribed. I think we're at 283 as of today, which is great. We love our new fans and everyone involved, and we push on. I know the show schedule is normally we talk about the team that played the first game, but I said screw that, and we're going to talk about United. 5 of their last 6. The game itself, there's nothing much to talk about. It was pretty crappy. There wasn't a whole lot to it. United dominated the first half. Everton had possession, I guess you could say, dominated the second half. United get the moment in the match, and then C.O.C buries another chance as the super sub. If you want to hear us talk about C.O.C, me and Mila did a whole video on that last week, so we're not going to do that again this week. Grant, in the second half, do you have thoughts on the match itself before we get into United's defense?
Yeah, obviously you boys know my heartbreak in the fantasy league regarding Bruno's performance, but I'll put that to the side and talk about what we actually watched. But yeah, I wasn't able to catch the first half. Yeah, domination's probably not the right word, because I feel like when you say dominate, that usually entails, creating chances and being dangerous, and Everton really didn't have that. I thought Njai looked amazing again. Every time I seem to watch him, magic. But yeah, I was just shocked that Everton had that many bodies committed forward, and it really took, like you said, that one moment. And once you saw who was through, I mean, it kind of felt I wasn't worried about it. I thought that was 1-0. It was, and yeah, simple, well done. Way to get the job done when you're not at your best to still get the 3 points. I mean, that's what serious teams should be doing.
Yeah, similar to the West Ham match in a lot of ways, where it's like you're not playing your best. The low block is causing you to struggle. I think that comes down to some of the stuff with C.O.C. I'm hoping at some point here we just see him start from the beginning, because United had better chances when he was up top. Just makes sense. But that's not this United side, and the defenders that are in place right now. I don't think I've seen United play this well in a long time. Like defensively, like the structure makes sense. It fits the personnel. United have 3 clean sheets in 6 matches under Carrick, or sorry, 7 matches under Carrick. It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I want to. Yeah, the defense has obviously been better, but I think Lamens helps a lot with this.
Yep.
Even before Carrick came in, your guys' defense had improved significantly under Amorim just from him being in the squad over the other options. Like it was Bayindir, right?
Yeah.
He's been phenomenal in the sense that it's not like he's putting on world-class saves every week, but he's keeping shots out, and that's really all that he needs to do. He doesn't need to be some acrobatic keeper. As long as he does his job, he's good for the club. And I definitely think that plays a part into the defense. We talked about it with Donnarumma and City's defense, and the impact that has had. This is similar in a way for me, because you've had these same defenders for a while. And, it's not like anyone new has come into the fold and like changed up the way that defense is operated. So the only thing that I can point to would be Lamens, and that back line feels more comfortable doing their jobs instead of trying to prevent the goalkeeper from doing their job because they don't trust him.
Yeah.
100% agree. 100% agree. I think, not to discredit Layman, I do think he's been very good, especially as a young goalkeeper coming into a side that really just is in turmoil. It's just not Onana, really. Like you said, Mila, just knowing that as a defender, that you don't have that calamity behind you. Not to say Layman's is a scrub. I'm not saying he's world class. He's a competent keeper, and I think he's been very competent of late. But just that confidence boost alone, I think it is just as much mental as it is physical in the guys playing. So I think that's a good point to bring up, Mila. And I also think, along with Onana, Amram's defensive structure, I mean, you're even seeing it in the middle. Like Casemiro looks rejuvenated, and I know he looked good a little bit under Amram as well. But like you said with Carrick, he's putting them in much better positions to be successful, right? You don't have Maguire on the halfway line, holding a high line and trying to catch up in transition. He knows what he has, and he's playing to their strengths. I mean, not me personally, but I feel like a lot of United fans, you see Lissandro drop out of the lineup, you might get worried. Yoro was shaky before coming out of the lineup. Clean sheet.
He was great.
Yeah, here and there, but clean sheet.
Yeah. No, I think it's a mix of a little bit of both what you guys are saying, because Layman's was good before Carrick came in, and he steadied the ship, because United, I think the conversation, if we could all remember going back to Bayindir, was like, anytime a cross went in off a corner, we were conceding. That was a whole year's worth of that shit. Onana got beat. 2 Olympicos got scored on my team. I rarely see those go in ever, and 2 were scored in the same season on my team. And then that Gabriel, I think it was Gabriel, scored the first goal of the season against us for Arsenal. If we rewind the tape, or if he's not brought in, today's match, Everton probably win by 3 with the chances they had on corners. Like, his claiming and his punching out of those situations where he had no space, which we will rant about that in the offseason. It's the one rule change that's got to happen. Like, there should not be allowed to be wrestling in and around a keeper's feet. Like, the amount of contact that happens in that scrum right now is just not football. It's ugly. But those moments, and the moments like the Michael Keane shot where he makes a save like that, that's what wins you games. That's what keeps you a clean sheet, and that's what gets you all 3 points. And I think the structure in terms of like the XG percentage and like the amount of XG they're giving up per match is so much lower. It's got to be top 5 in the league, or sorry, bottom 5 in the league in terms of XG conceded since Carrick has come in. I don't have the stat under, like, I just know that in multiple games outside of set piece opportunities, teams have not been able to get at United with this 4-4-2 structure.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the chances that you guys used to concede a lot of with the Amorim, and a lot of it, you just have no numbers back, right? Like, you just have multiple attackers running at you. Maguire, Dallo looking around. Oh my, like, what are we going to do? So, I mean, yeah, that definitely makes sense. And again, I don't think Carrick is the next Pep Guardiola, but you have someone who isn't Ruben Amorim. Yep. I think that alone makes a huge improvement. And I know you mentioned it a little bit. I know we're focusing on the defense, but I think a lot of people question, like, oh, Sesko's not starting against this game, kind of the perfect sort of game for him when you have 3 8-foot center backs in Everton's back line. He comes on, he gets a goal. So I think maybe that's something to keep our eyes on in terms of that trend. Is he going to make more changes? So again, I still think there's more than enough there to get back into Champions League spots. But yeah, I just think getting rid of such awful coaching and players in those two aspects alone has been such an improvement. But at the same time, I feel like that also does discredit some of the work that they've done as well. But you know me.
No, there's definitely a mentality change too, because like Cunha and Ahmed combined for 17 duels today.
Dang.
17 combined.
Damn, I thought Cunha was terrible when I was watching. I only saw the second half. I thought he was awful.
He was awful, and then he played.
He worked really hard though.
He worked really hard.
I think he made a tackle in Everton's box almost. And I was like, "That's Cunha."
No,
so yeah, to your point,
that last play that pretty much ended up seeing out the match where he makes a tackle. I think was it on Garner? Yeah, and he just shows him off like. There's no reason that Cunha, with the way that it was with Wolves last year, could come into the side and be like, I'm just going to take this responsibility of being the heart and soul. And that's really what this defensive thing is too. It's like, Mila, you've preached it with City and their ability to like celebrate the defensive moments with Gahey and Kusanov and Nico Riley and these guys just throwing their bodies at it. And when they do make those moments, it's celebrated as if it's a goal. And that Cunha moment was just like one of those moments that you're talking about. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet. It never will. But from a mentality standpoint, it helps. It just does. When you feel like you can come out and get clean sheets and be a bit of a cunt, for a lack of better terms.
Defenders will do that for a standard aerial clearance.
Mentality is a lot of this game. You can have way less talented teams win games if they have the mentality to just say, fuck it, we're going to do it regardless. So it's like, with United, I think we talked about it. The mentality was shot from top down, board to fucking new fan. Everyone was down in the dumps. So now that you guys actually have something going for you, I think that this defensive talk is only going to get better. Maguire taking a pay cut is a real show of leadership.
Yeah.
And just loyalty and respect for the club, that he's willing to say, hey, I wrote out the rough patch and I could just get out now, but it's starting to look good. I'll take a pay cut for the better of the team so we can continue in this direction. Like I think it's looking up in that sense. And I know Grant mentioned it earlier, but you guys walked away with a hard win against a low block. That was basically the question going into this game. We knew you guys were going to be shit in this game. We know you can't go and do your game against a low block. But if you're going to walk away with 3 points, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it's just going to keep getting better and better if you guys keep building this confidence, and that defense is celebrated even more and more. Like, I think it'll be something really special. You guys got Lenny Yoro there. All he's needed is confidence. People doubting his ability. Come on. It's just a young kid thrown into the deep end of shark-infested electric waters. And not even Amram. I mean, just the whole condition of the club. You can take Amram out of the equation. It still would have been a shit show.
Disaster. Yeah.
It's now starting. The ship's starting to steady a little bit, and that's going to be good for all the young players on United, and I think especially Yoro. When we're talking about this confidence thing, like, he's going to benefit so much, whether it's because Maguire's brimming with confidence and just a shining light next to him, or if he has the confidence to play his game and can then develop further from there, rather than worrying about, what mistakes do I need to avoid right now? Like, constantly thinking about mistakes rather than progression.
Yeah. Also, physically, he looks way stronger than he ever has. Like, he used to be the lanky kind of guy. He's filling out shirts, if that makes
That's what sense. The Premier League will do to you.
You immediately become a little beefier. No, I think that's a perfect place to leave it. Their first clean sheet away from home. It's probably first clean sheet away from home in like a year and a half.
Ever.
Which is a good sign. We'll leave it there, which is United are on the up and up, so long as they don't lose another game. That's how that works. Alrighty, let's move to Chelsea. That match was terrible. Burnley come away with the late equalizer off a set piece. Fofana, in typical Chelsea fashion, comes away with a red card. Grant's 5 things were amazing if you want to hear like the raw emotions from it. I think this is going to bleed over into those raw emotions. So, Grant, you made this title of our own worst enemy, so go ahead.
I've been saying this for so long. I mean, set pieces and us not defending them, I think I've brought that up a million times. I feel like I've brought all of this up a million times, but I mean, we have dropped 19 points from winning positions in the league this season. 17 of those are at home. 17 points dropped from
Holy
winning
crap.
positions at home. I mean, let me just, if we add 10 of those, 10 points, not all of them, that's crazy. That wouldn't happen. You'll drop points. It happens. 10 points, we're on 55. We're 1 point off Man City. That could be a very serious team if they picked up half the points they've dropped from winning positions. And instead, it's this team. We get this. And as soon as Fofana gets the red card, I mean, I knew it was happening. James Ward-Prowse comes on. As soon as he came on, I text my boy. I said, do not give them any set pieces. Like, we know what's going to happen, right? And Fofana and the DMs after the game, it's unacceptable. I feel like that goes without saying, but I guess you have to say it. Like, that's insane. There's no justification for that. What there is justification for is criticizing one of your senior players, given our squad, committing that type of foul 80 yards away from his own penalty box against a team who has not created anything the entire game. It was an ugly 1-0. We could have won it as an ugly 1-0 with 11 players. I mean, look at the Leeds game. 6 minutes worth of imploding cost us 2 points. And I think the manager got it spot on. We have set to fire 4 points in the last 2 games. I think that's spot on. And I think for anyone trying to have a dig at the manager, you're for sure an idiot. Like, as much as I would have loved to keep Maresca in, like to even think about blaming any of this on the new guy they put in there. I mean, look at the results we were getting. You can't, can he like teach them how to mark someone on a corner? He literally said someone missed their assignment. He didn't give out the name, totally fair, but that's insane. That is insane. You play for the world champions. That's unacceptable. It is beyond me that this is this. It's the same shit. Just a continuous roller coaster. I mean, every single season is, oh, well, next season we've got the potential. And I'm very clearly running out of that patience. I thought we had enough going into this season. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I thought this core had enough to be built upon. Colwell goes down. You're far and away best central defender. Promising team loses their best defender. You'd probably replace him. Man City have injury issues and they go get Gahey, right? Like, act serious and you get serious results. If you do not act serious, you get these results. So as much as I hate it, like, this has absolutely been coming since the day the transfer window shut. You would have thought maybe it was earlier in the season, Club World Cup fatigue. We've played all year. For it to happen now is even more infuriating. It's almost like you got led on a bit. And I kept talking about this crazy run of games we have coming up. Here we go. We've got the Emirates and we've got Villa Park. Those are our next 2 Prem games. And as much as I want to be like, yeah, a derby, let's go beat Arsenal. Let's ruin their title race. Villa, they're up and down. Let's go have a go at Villa. How can I have any confidence after watching what I've just watched? I can't. I can't. And I feel like everyone can hold a fair share of blame, but I think the most egregious offense is our defense. To walk into a season with that defense is an embarrassment. It is a disgrace. I mean, your best central defender is a guy who, going into this season, has played 30% of the available games for Chelsea since he signed. And then everyone else is just bad. I'm sorry, they're just not good enough. None of them. None of them, bar maybe Fofana, but he's never able to play. This is the first time, this is the most minutes he's ever played since signing for us. It's unacceptable. It is infuriating. I mean, I was actually cool on Saturday. I'm more pissed off now. It's just, the more you think about it, the more infuriating it gets, because it's not like this is something shocking. It's a new revelation. We could have never seen this coming. Everyone saw this coming. It's infuriating.
And it's only gonna get worse.
That's right.
Yeah. You got. We've talked about it on the pod. Maybe double digits at this point. You guys need a fucking leader in the back line. It's gonna screw everyone's heads on, and also just bring up the players around them. Jacquet as an option is not that guy to do that. I definitely think he could have done a job personally, but in terms of lifting up the defense, I thinking about it more, I don't think that would have helped at all. And we've been talking about it. Someone that almost on either world class or on the cusp of world class is basically what you need. It's easier said than done to go get that, but you guys are Chelsea. It's not like you're some run of the mill Premier League team. Like
Sign
this is an
Caicedo, we
elite
finished
football
12th. Like it shouldn't be a problem. I hope Koval's surgery went well. Take all the time you need. I need him to come back to 100% because he was finally starting to show those flashes, right? He was putting in consistently good performances. There's accountability in the back. He was looking like that leader, a homegrown leader, no less. Beautiful. And then there goes his knee. So you can't rely on him to play 3 games a week coming fresh off knee surgery. So yeah, something needs to be done. In my perfect world, every single one of those center backs gets sold. Bar Fofana, you can think about it. Sarr, he's new, but again, we have these kids coming in. Like Tosin's got to go, Badiashiel's got to go, Chalobah's got to go. Sassi's doing well at West Ham. I hope they stay up now, and I hope they pay the price. But they all have to go.
Tosin and Chalobah are probably going to stay. I'm just going to be honest with you. They're English.
See, that's another reason I want Morgan Rogers. I need Palmer's friend to be good.
No, I'm not saying it's Palmer's friend. You have registrations to be done, and you like to sign youngsters from far off places. Therefore, Chalobah and Tosin need to be in the squad.
You forget the pure profit, my friend. Chalobah, they've been trying to get rid of for years.
You got to replace him, though. That's the thing.
Well, we don't replace anybody. We just buy and sell. We
That's
just want to
not,
buy certain players like Garnacho. Why did we
anything.
buy Garnacho? I'm never going to get over that. There was no reason.
Homegrown.
You know what's
He's homegrown, honestly.
He's
Like
homegrown
that's
too.
why he was a cheap homegrown player that is good for registration purposes.
These guys are the worst. Those are probably their priorities. You're not wrong. That and and how much they can flip.
It's not a priority. You have to register a
no,
team
for sure. But what I'm saying is
the
people building this team, they're worried about that, which obviously it's a rule. You have to be worried about it. What they're not worried about is putting together a competent first team.
Well, no, this is the repercussion of going and getting foreign youngsters to build your team around.
Oh, there's a lot of repercussions.
No,
there's a lot of repercussions.
This is one of the big ones, and if we really want to break it down, like this is what we need to talk about: is that you guys are trying to accumulate all this foreign talent, and therefore you have to keep names like Chalobah, like Tosin, on the team sheet.
Again, we got rid of Chalobah last year for 1 year, and then we recalled him because our replacements were so bad that they had to call back the same guy that they've been trying to get rid of for years. And I mean, they did the same thing with Lampard. They sacked him. Well, they didn't sack Lampard. Tuchel replaces him, wins a Champions League, and these same guys go, you know who we should bring in? The same guy that was deemed not good enough. Like, it is incompetence to levels I've never even witnessed before. It is insane that we're operating like this, and this is the result. This is the result. I mean, we said it a few weeks ago, Dylan, when we were talking about Chelsea. The results were fantastic. We're winning all these games, but something felt off, and Rosignor was doing his best to cover the cracks. That's what his job is. And when you watch us play, there are so many positive moments. We're like, oh, he's playing to these guys' strengths. There's quick passing. Andre Santos, who seemingly was just shunned out of the team, he's shining. Like, there's these positives, and then you look at the results. You look at just these. Did you guys see that quote from like Breece Hall, the running back? He was talking about some teams shoot themselves in the leg, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. Like that's what we do. Like I think I sent it like 2 weeks ago. It was like the 6-minute reel of just all the goals we've conceded.
Yeah.
So, over half of them are the type of goals where you're on FIFA and you restart the fucking game.
Okay, so
those are the type of goals.
To compare this because I think the situations can be a little similar to United. Is like, what's the main difference between the defenses right now? This is the conversation essentially parallel to the United one. What's the main difference?
You have a leader.
Right, we
And
have
you have competent
experienced
players.
Premier League center backs or experienced Premier League players in these
Chalobah's an
positions,
experienced Premier League center back.
but he's still not. Like in the grand scheme of things, like comparing his career to a Maguire career, where you
Oh,
literally
not Maguire.
No, but like Trevor
Sandro, Gomez,
Chalobah
and Maguire are all
and
better.
Maguire are
than
relatively, when you think about their career trajectories, right? Like Maguire was pushed out. Like there was a point where he was stripped to the armband. They were like, "You're not good enough." That was all the I've had that thought up until like literally maybe the last 6 months. Chalobah's similar thought process. He came back in, and you're asking him to fight above his weight, and that's the entire back
Oh, yeah, it's
line.
not his fault. It's not his fault.
Yeah, no.
It's not
But
their fault.
this is just
Good
in
point
general.
for
Like
discussing that.
when Chelsea, and especially defenses, like that's not a one window thing. Like you don't just plug and play defenders and it works unless it's like Gahey. Does it like you
Just
guys
keep buying
aren't?
stinkers from France. That's what we're doing. I mean, you're
No, it's
spot
not.
on.
Look, and
shambles.
it's all mentality. We've talked about the mental side of the game. This is why I was scared with Jaquette being the signing that you were talking about. Is like you can't throw any particular player just into this situation. It doesn't work. Lenny Yoro had that at United. Look, Sarr's first Premier League experience is conceding a 90th minute equalizer against Burnley.
Yep.
In a game
Getting
down a
time
man.
for it.
Like those things weigh on you mentally, and now you're going to
For
go
sure.
into a run of games where everybody thinks that they can get at Chelsea because either one, you'll shoot
They know.
yourself in the foot, or two, if you stay in the game long enough, they will crack. And that's the issue. Is like you can't continually build a team for next season when this season has to be played. And that's just the problem with Chelsea. We've talked about it a million times. But defensively in particular, the difference between signings that City make or like Arsenal have made, right? Like even like a guy like Nkapie, like proven, experienced, talented players, comparing that to a guy like Sarr who needs to get his feet wet first, it's night and day, man. It's not fair to anybody involved. And that's
No,
on the
it's
sporting
not.
groups. And that to your
It's
point of like the meme of them pushing the fucking pipe into the wheel and then falling over and blaming somebody, that
That's
is
them.
the sporting directors and the higher ups at Chelsea blaming a manager continually because
And
this
they
is
don't have to
stuff.
answer for their sins, Dylan. They
Never.
don't have to answer because you're right. I
Nope.
think it's important to specify this isn't Trevor Chalobah's fault. I've got nothing but respect for that mentality to be able to come back from that. But again, at the same time, he is not the level of, oh yeah, he's starting every week and we're winning the Champions League, the Premier. No, he's just not. And if we want to talk about mentality, I see a quote from him talking about the chances we're missing. What about you? I want accountability. I don't care about your levels, but like, quite frankly, all of these guys can take responsibility for this, in my opinion. At some point in the season, none of these players have been perfect. Even like Moises Caicedo, who was almost perfect all last season, he's had his mistakes this year. He's given away penalties. He's been missing big games due to suspension. Everyone can hold some smoke, in my opinion. So for a defender who's played far and away the most minutes to be talking about missed chances, talking about mentality, that's fucking infuriating too. What are you talking about missed chances? Do your job. Like, please do your job. Like, it is beyond me. What are you looking at other people for? Like, looking for ways to get the blame off you? You're right. There's no authority. There's no leadership in the back. I mean, you guys saw that Malo Gusto no-look pass attempt up 1-0 with his left foot.
Yep.
Like,
it's
Andre Santos Mila, he plays in a brilliant first-time ball, easy cut back across. Gusto no-looks it with his left foot, and it goes out for a corner. Like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
You're up 1-0 against Burnley. You guys think you're fine.
And you think you can do that shit? It's, oh my goodness.
And I do think, though, that comes in, like, the manager can be blamed for that. But it also is hard for the manager to control that without proper leaders in the dressing room.
He can only say so much from the sideline.
Regardless of whether the defenders or not, like the captains of the locker room need to come forward and be like, this is unacceptable. Don't do that shit. Like, don't be playing around with the ball. Don't get complacent. Stay locked in, or we're not going to get Europe. That's the reality.
Do you think these guys are going to make Champions League right now? Because I mean, I have no hope in as it stands. Again, I want
unless someone
more than enough. They're more than capable enough. But
someone has
given
to step
everything
up.
I'm seeing, I have no confidence.
Not
Yeah,
even
no
like
question.
footy wise. Someone has to step up in the locker room and slap everyone in the face and
Damn
say
right.
we need
I
to
wish I could do it myself.
focus, or this is not going to go well for us. Because all 5 of these top 5 teams, if any of them don't make Champions League, it's detrimental to your progress. It's not
I
just,
mean,
we're not going to play in the Champions League for one season anymore.
it's a 4-team race for
it
3
it
spots.
stagnates progress. You cannot go further without Champions League football.
Can we make the argument that it doesn't matter to any of them because they all signed into this project? And like there's a certain level of maybe this is just like I've had the question of why do guys keep signing for Chelsea if they know this is exactly what this project is? Is there the idea that they're complacent in their own right? Like
Yes.
it could be, right? And so I find it hard to be like, I think someone's going to step up or that I'm trying to think of one person that I think could be that guy. And every player, in my opinion, maybe it's Palmer. Maybe it has to be your best
Reece. Oh, I think it has to be
Gotta be the
Reece.
captain. You're right.
But Reece has been. This is the thing is Reece has had all the opportunities to make that his role, and he hasn't yet.
That's
so it's
the
got to be
issue,
someone
though.
else.
He's the one with the responsibility.
Oh, we lost Mila. I don't know what happened. All right, well we'll pause and then we'll get Mila back, and you can finish that point. All right, Mila, you were ranting about Reece James not being a good enough captain.
Right. We were just saying, like, he's had every opportunity to step up and be that captain. He's had the armband. This is crunch time, though. Just to Dylan's point, the complacency, like, it needs to come from him. He's the club boy. He's the captain. He is the club. Cole Palmer, the guy that has links out of the club every week, whether they're true or not, it's not the same. Reece James needs to be the one to say, if you guys don't give a fuck, I give a fuck. So play for me at least. Because he should be carrying the most out of every player in your team. And to see that he's the captain and there's this leadership hole is I would be disappointed as a fan, regardless of how good he is.
Reece James is the weirdest test case for captain because while I think there's been criticism of other captains within the league, whether it's been availability or the way that they present themselves, Reece James is quiet, soft-spoken, shows up in moments where you're like, that's why he's captain. But then also he got taken off down a man in a game he was fully rested for in the 90th minute. And then you go on to concede. Like, I don't get it. What captain gets taken off in the 90th minute of a match you're up 1-0 down a man as a defender? Is he
terrified his hamstring is going to fall off when he does a sprint? I mean, this was one of the first times in a while I agree with it's not justification for it, but I just from a personal standpoint, every time that last game, he's just bombing up and down. My heart sinks every time.
Yeah,
Mind
you were down a man. You were down a man. He didn't need to do the bombing anymore. That's what I don't want. I just can't get it.
I agree. I don't think he got the subs right. And again, this is a manager.
Regardless, though, why is what Dylan's asking is why is he substituting out his captain? Why does that thought even occur to him? Because
that's gotta be the sentiment.
Brought it up last year with his leadership. He literally I need more from him, and I thought he responded to that call to action, and you kind of see more of it on the pitch. But all the points you guys are making are valid. It shouldn't be happening. There needs to be a leader there. Your leader is homegrown. He is Chelsea, like you said. Yeah, that's not his personality, right? But there's got to be a way you can show that leadership, that accountability. There's got to be a better way to do that.
He's had every opportunity to grow into it. It's not like he's a 35-year-old that they plopped into the captain spot. He's been a young kid with that leadership responsibility, and it hasn't developed nearly enough. Like you're saying, it's developed some, but not enough to what the team needs to be
fitness,
competitive.
I think the first full year he was captain, he never played. The second last year, he missed half the season. So now he's finally playing again. And I think he said that in an interview recently where it's like, I struggled with that because I couldn't play. Like it's hard for me to find my voice, if you will. So again, that part of it is that. Another part of it is just his personality, right? He's just super soft-spoken, reserved, but I think in between the lines, you can switch that up, right? You can show a little bit more accountability. Not accountability. I think he's accountable, but that leadership that I don't know. It's hard to really describe it, but you could clearly tell the way we defend. There's something missing.
Who's the captain for City?
We got 4.
Who
Nardo
wears
is
the
the man.
armband?
It doesn't matter. I genuinely think all 4 of them
No,
are
I'm
the captains.
It is Bernardo
I'm
Silva.
trying to make a
Bernardo.
point here. It's
Bernardo.
Bernardo.
Yeah.
Who's the Manchester United captain? It's Bruno Fernandes. Those guys don't get subbed out when they start matches. And
You just need to make Pedro Neto the captain, is what Dylan's
no,
saying. You need
it's
a Portuguese
Enzo
captain.
Fernandez. Okay,
No, I'm
as
kidding.
much as
Bernardo's
I'm
been
not
hooked.
like a
Bernardo's
huge fan,
definitely been
maybe it's
hooked in
Enzo.
games, bro.
No,
Enzo's our vice captain.
my argument is I think that
Would have
the
been
way that
Colwell, bro.
Chelsea is run, it needs to be someone who plays every single match and plays almost close to full 90s every single match. There's got to be a stat on it, but he's got to be the only captain in the Premier League that has been subbed off or has not played. Like, he has to lead in both of those things because he just
Odegaard?
isn't a captain. Odegaard just hasn't played this season in general, right? And then they've given the armband
I
to
disagree with
somebody
your
else.
sentiment on that. I think
You can't have a part-time captain. That's not a thing. Because
sure.
when we
I
go
agree.
and we point to somebody and we say, you are the leader, you're going to get things right now. We're in a tough spell in this match. The ball goes to Bernardo. The ball goes to Bruno. They take control of matches. And I just don't, as much as I want
feels
Reece
like a
James to play
defender.
every
Can he
single thing.
control the game? I don't
Yeah.
know that logic, but
Lead
Yeah.
from the back.
Yeah, you absolutely
Yeah.
can. My thing is that someone has to be there every single match. And right now with Chelsea, there's not somebody there.
I think that the bigger issue is not that Reece can't be there all the time, because I do understand the sentiment of he's recovering, he's very good, and you want to make sure he doesn't get hurt again. So that's fine. But to Dylan's point, there needs to be someone to step in when that hole, even though we're criticizing right now, there's a major drop off from him to the next guy. So it's like that hole is unacceptable. Someone needs to fill that. And
well, Enzo's already the vice captain, so does that not do it? Or you're saying Enzo just
that's
needs
what I'm
to be
saying.
the captain
Maybe
to
it
take
should
the
just
pressure
be
off of Reece doing all. I mean,
because we shouldn't have this conversation.
Reece, as much as I'm Reece's biggest fan, right? Even last year, you would see like these tweets or these conversations where it's like, man, maybe like Colwell's like more of a leader type, more of a captain, and like,
that's why he was there so long.
Reece was the captain because we sold everyone. Everyone was gone, right? Like Azpilicueta, Jorginho, Kovacic, like those were the guys that would wear the armband. They all just disappeared. So 23, 24 years old, you're the captain. Misses most
Listen,
of that.
we're going in circles. You guys don't have any experienced older players that are also very good at footy that can lead the team. They don't even need to be that good, though. But the guys that you have are experienced are not leaders. Like, I've watched Fabian Delph be a leader at Man City. You don't have to be the best in the world. You just need the mentality. And
we have
your
some
guys
guys
do
who
not
might
have the
be
mentality.
decent leaders, but we don't have a figurehead.
Yeah, it's this. We've had this conversation, and I think that's why we're going in circles, is because it's so frustrating to the point where we've had this conversation in episode 1, we've had this conversation in episode 50, and now in 86. Like, it can't be a recurring thing if we're pointing this out, and we're just 3 dudes in our apartments, right? Like, just speaking our minds. Fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like, it's not rocket science.
I will never forget this.
It's not. And I'm tired of talking about Chelsea for that reason now.
Me fucking too, mate.
So we'll skip to a team that won 2-1. Oh, Mila's got to get added to all the scenes now. Dang it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Mila, we had the conversation, I think it was 5 pods ago, about Erling Haaland.
Yeah. I think we've talked about him for 5 pods, or at least I've talked about him every game since.
Yeah, and it was the Spurs match that really changed the perspective on what it is. Because we've always seen Haaland, and the media has always talked about Haaland as this ruthless goal scorer, but he's more than that. And I'll let you kind of take over from there.
Yeah. Let's highlight the Norwegian-sized elephant in the room, and that he is the second highest assistman in the Premier League, while also being the top bagsman in the Premier League. And I want to say he has the most assists in open play in the Premier League.
That could be correct.
I don't know how this isn't being talked about more. I've seen a random graphic or tweet here and there, but I feel like this should be spoken about on every media platform. Maybe it's because these commentators or pundits kind of look like idiots and they don't want to talk about it. But like this guy was already getting Ballon d'Or shouts without the assists, and now he's adding the assists. And not only that, I talked about it in my my appreciation video after the game. But he was playing center back too, basically. And I saw a tweet that said we got Virgil van Holland, we got Ryan Holland, and we got Kevin de Holland, all in one game. And that's basically what we got.
Yeah.
And just to go back to the conversation on leadership that we were talking about, Holland is one of those in our leadership group. And you can see it. That guy leaves everything on the pitch for the club. Whether it be him dropping deep now to come get the ball and make something happen, or dropping way deep and headering out crosses, sacrificing his position as a striker to do the defensive dirty work. Like, I'm just appalled that this is not being spoken about more. He hasn't been the best striker as of late in terms of quote unquote goal scoring. He's still at the top of the charts, so I give him some leeway there. If he's able to do stuff outside of that, I don't think that is an issue. I think that is, like Dylan put it, he's evolving into a more well-rounded player, a Ballon d'Or worthy candidate. And the direct competition with Mbappe is he's the complete opposite player. One guy will have a good game. Mbappe will have a good game, regardless of the result for City or for Madrid. Holland is going to die for the team and sacrifice that over individual performance for the performance of the team. And personally, I'd rather have that personality in my team. And if he's going to continue to grow in terms of dribbling, passing, and just linking up play, and he's a factor now when he doesn't have the ball played in behind or to his feet, right on a defender, then I think we're in a very good position, especially now that we have other goal scorers in the squad.
Yeah, it's effective. That's always been the overarching thought with Erling Haaland is if he's not scoring, he's not doing as much, right? Like if you can stop him from scoring, which is very difficult to do, you can almost get him out of matches. And like there's been matches where he almost ghosts for that reason. And that's why I think a couple episodes I was arguing the idea of like I want more Haaland, not less Haaland. The thing that's been stark for me in terms of like watching it visually is just how effective it is with the touches, because he's only getting like maybe 20 passes a match. And for him to have 7 assists with 20 passes a match is telling you that when he's getting the ball, it's almost either like he's pulling in 3 or 4 defenders and then it's just a through ball into Marmoush or Semenyo or whoever it is, Nico O'Reilly. It's just so effective. And that's what's going to take him from being like an all-time great to like he could become a legendary striker. If that is the evolution of his game, where it's not just that he's banging in 30 goals a season, but he can add on 10 or 15 assists in a season, like that's all-timer numbers. That's what will cement him as one of the greatest strikers to have ever played the sport. And that's the same conversation of some pundits that were saying that he wasn't good enough for League Two if he wasn't scoring goals. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, just seeing the dribble that he did, a couple of dribbles, kind of made Tonali like slip and slide twice. I think that's enough for me. And then on top of that, he gets the assists, some layoffs, one-touch passing that goes right to his target. Like, to your point, it's not just, oh, he's doing okay. He's doing really good in these actions and the little actions that he has. It's exciting. I really don't know what else to say about it because I think we're just going to continue seeing this growth. I think a lot of people forget that he's a 25-year-old, almost you could say a kid. He's not really in that prime of his career yet. There's so much room for growth, and he plays under one of the best managers of all time. So I think a lot of people have thought that we saw the best of it when he got those insane numbers, but I can assure everyone that the best of Holland is yet to come. He's definitely going to continue to improve, and he's going to be a nightmare for the Premier League for many years.
Yeah, campaign high 42 touches in the game against Newcastle. That might be like one of the career highs for him. 42 touches, a lot of touches for Holland, and it clearly worked. But also, maybe Grant, if you want to elaborate on this before we go to title talks, just the idea around the people that are surrounding him currently, like Marmoush getting back into the fold. We talked about Semenyo, me and Mila. The guys that they've put around him, it's no longer Holland or bust to a certain extent. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it does play a part, right? I mean, you're seeing the other forwards. They went from, obviously, Doku's been phenomenal for the most part, barring this year. He was deployed out wide. You have mainly touchline guys, so you have less to work with as a striker when you're receiving the ball. I really just think Holland's a victim of his own standards. I think not only on the front of his game, where he immediately comes in, shatters every record, and now all of a sudden that's just the expectation. When he scores, he doesn't do anything other than score. When he doesn't score, he doesn't do anything. Like, that's just him being a victim of his own standards. And even to that point, when he gets the ball, he doesn't do anything. Like I just said, like, what's he supposed to do when he has these guys just manhandling him? Because I also think up until you brought it up, Mila, I never really looked at, how he's officiated, right? Past few games, I've kind of kept my eye on it more. Crazy. It's crazy.
A whole different game.
Someone's pretty much just yeah, exactly, bro. The center back has both arms on the guy. There's another center back right next to him. He receives the ball and there's no one to lay it off to. Like, what do you expect the guy to do with that, right? So I think that's another part of it. So yes, he definitely has more to work with around him, which leads to, him using that part of his game more. But again, I just think he's a victim of the standards. Like the conversations, like I went and checked the stats. I'm like, he still has 20 goals in the league. Like, what are we talking about? They're just such stupid conversations to me, because like, how do you not know what we have? Like, you're just bored. Clearly you're just bored. Holland is a top level striker. He's definitely the best striker we have in the game, or at least at that table. You cannot argue against that. And yeah, he's 25 years old. He's not done improving.
It's crazy. The cyborg continues to get an upgrade.
Bullshit.
You know what I mean? It is bullshit. I agree. It is bullshit. They should stop that. This should be like a factory setting. Like, you get to a certain point and then like you gotta let someone else.
Yeah, it's like the battery capacity setting on your phone. Yeah, it should max out and then slowly deteriorate. Please.
That's
we got that with Salah. We're good.
Yes, good point. It only took a lot of years. Prick. Whatever. Speaking of, I don't have a good transition. Whatever. Mila's gone. But look, he's back just like Manchester City in the title race.
I had such a good line and you missed it. I said, speaking of pricks.
I think that's what Dylan was going to say.
I think I was aiming that way, but I decided to censor myself. I'm happy that you said it, though, because I think that's more fitting. The gap, as you would say it, is -2. I think that's where it's at,
They're
right?
up a point, according to Mila's math, because they got a game in hand, and then they already beat Arsenal. At the
-1.
Negative 1. Yes, you're up a point. Arsenal, we talked to Facundo after the Wolves draw. They did go and batter Spurs 4-1. I will say the Kolo Muani decision, fucking disgraceful, and totally changed the match. But the title race thing is, you know what, Mila? Since you guys are in this race with them, you can start, and then me and Grant can pile on.
I don't know. I can't keep. I can. I'm gonna keep saying the same thing. I have been here many times as a City fan. It's been about 16 years, and a lot of it has been good. This is what we live for. This is what the club and the players live for. I think you can ask a lot of City fans. Second is not a bad place for us. I think a lot of us would prefer to be in second for a majority of the season. And especially against a team that shaky mentally. I think, to Dylan's point, with Kolo Muani should have had that goal. It's a whole different game. And then back to my point, where we are refereed differently. Solanke gets an equalizer by kicking the shit out of Gahey. But Gabriel gets a brisk wind to the back, and the goal's called out. So I don't want to hear from fucking anybody that they're trying to give us this title. I just don't want to hear it. It's ridiculous. I haven't blamed the refs, really. I've complained about them, but I try not to blame them because at the end of the day, it's up to us. And I haven't been really addressing this either, but since we're talking title race, to Fact's fucking point that we haven't done anything in this title race, like, come on, shut the fuck up. What are we talking about? You guys have been shitting the bed, and our rebuild team has stayed with it. That's all we need to do. All we need to do is be okay, and we probably will walk away with the title against Phase 7 Arteta. So to say we've done nothing it's bullshit. You can say that you've done a lot to keep us in it. That's respectable and honestly expected. But to say that City has done nothing this season to be in this title race is ridiculous. And then just look at the mentality. Look at our players. Look at what they're doing to see out wins. And then look at what some of their players are doing. And like, one guy has barely scored in the fucking league outside of this one team, and he's doing fucking turtle spins and then proceeding to do 5 more celebrations. What's, like, come on. It's a North London derby. You're expected to win. The title race is still there. Like, let's see some fucking mentality. These are the things that have been annoying me. And I think I'll pass it off to you guys for a little bit, but those are the things I needed to talk about in terms of the title race heating up.
Fair. Grant, you want to go ahead and bash?
Dude, I was that equalizer of all Mr. Performative doing all that. Like, I needed them to hold that result, but yeah, Spurs are awful. I hope they get relegated. Side note, but yeah, I mean, in terms of the title race, I agree with what you said towards the end. Where, yeah, I think it's disingenuous to say City have done nothing. The right way to phrase that is Arsenal have had every single chance to put this away and shut the door, and they have kept it open. You can still come in if you want. Feel free. Like, we're up all night. We're partying. So yeah. I mean, that's where I see it. Similar to kind of how we talked about it last year. The rest of the league simply wasn't up to that level that Man City and Liverpool have made us accustomed to. And Liverpool were the best team of the bunch. Fair enough. And I think this year it's a similar conversation, but I think it's lazy to say that the top teams are bad. I think it's easier to say there are no more layups on your fixture list. Like, there are no more, oh, you look at this team, that's an easy 3 points. There are no more easy 3 points. I mean, even Wolves this calendar year have been a tough team to get at, right? We've seen it with Arsenal. So I think that's really, you can't really get as many clickbaity headlines from it, but that's really just the reality. There's no gimmies anymore. And that the table reflects that very well. But yeah, Arsenal's muscle memory, City's muscle memory. If I'm a betting man, I mean, you look at the trends, you look at the numbers. One team looks like they're very poised to throw it away as they do in the past. They obviously pick up a huge win against Tottenham. I think if you don't get all 3 points there, it's an avalanche. But we saw the reaction, I mean, not only from the players who looked like they lost the Champions League final at the end of that game, but the fans as well. It doesn't really take much for it to go to 10. So really, anytime they drop points, it's going to be like you're on an ice rink with shoes. Like that's really what it is. It's just panic stations, and kind of, to me, this whole sentiment, they're uncomfortable. This isn't a situation where you've seen your team do this before. You don't know what it necessarily takes. You haven't seen it with your own eyes for them to see this out. That's really just the logical reaction. They do not know what to do. Versus, I mean, yeah, Mila, you've had your moments of being pissed off at your team, but for the most part, I feel like you haven't even gone off the ledge or, oh, the season's done, we're not going to win it. Like, no, you always know because it was in front of you.
I'm a big advocate for that. which is I'm never say die. I'm a big mentality monster also though, so you can put that into the case. But
Yeah, you guys have seen enough of my hats. I'm a Clipper fan. I'm not. So
it's just,
we can get that
I've
out
seen
of the
enough
way, but
in all forms of sports to show that if you don't give up,
100%.
then you still have a chance. If you have 1% chance, then there's still a fucking chance. And especially with City, I think that's amplified. They're a never say die team, and I think that's probably my favorite part about being a fan.
The footballs look much better too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to fully give the credit to like a Gahey Semenyo, but maybe Gahey. Good lord, I mean, it is just night and day difference in the back.
I mean,
That
I've
alone has
seen
been so helpful.
both teams that I follow closely have now benefited from this black hole center back. I called him greedy in my little reaction because they are greedy. They take up all the space that they want. Whatever they want is theirs. And we
I
talked
see
about
what you
it last
did with the
night
black
with
hole thing.
Leslie,
Nice.
but that type of center back is huge. But again, with him, a lot of it is mentality that we're getting from him because we can go get a good center back. We're Man City. We can go call someone on the phone and they'll have interest. But to get this guy that fits right into the mentality of the squad, the leadership is it's irreplaceable. Like we could have gone and got anyone. We could go get whoever. I don't know. There's not many center backs that come in though and already are built-in leaders. And he's said like people are telling him that he looks like he's been here for 10 years. And I think that's huge. And he says himself that he's still learning every day. So again, this is another young guy that we think is phenomenal, getting better. Maybe it's because of the coaching, the facilities, whatever. To me, a lot of it is mentality. 9% of it is mentality for all of this shit. And if we want to talk about more people with mentality, look at Nico fucking O'Reilly. The guy's 20 years old. And when we need goals, he's the one that goes and gets them. When Holland's not producing, he's at left back, at center mid, whatever, wherever he's playing, it's mentality that we're going to fight till the end. We're going to win. Or at least we're going to try. And I don't see that from our title opponents, at least throughout the entire squad. I think they have bits of it, but it's not infectious like it is with City.
It's performative.
It's a facade.
It's performative. It's fully performative. I mean, you look at Gabriel, he's this tough man doing all that diving shit. Like, you cannot be both. You don't have to be a tough guy, but if you are, you cannot be going out like that. That's sad. I mean, we saw it when Newcastle scored way earlier in the season. Arsenal came back and won, but he was complaining for a shove. No one shoved him. Rice, again, I was making fun of the gif a million times. He's doing all that and then immediately gives the ball away, but that is performative. Like Mila is saying, you don't see Gahey. Hey, come on, guy. What are we? It's sound, bro, but that is real mentality. That's real leadership, and that part I fully agree with.
Everything about Arsenal is a facade. It's all for the cameras and the clickbait and the phones and the media and everything that they do. That whole post with Gabriel afterwards confirmed it for me. Because when you are the aggressor and you are the better team and you post shit and do shit like they did with like the Gyökeres double celebration, the Eze 5 celebrations, that's bullying, and it's not actually. It's all to your point. It's performative. It's a load of shit. Spurs are awful. You're in first. This should have been a cut and dry game regardless, and I had to talk about a VAR controversy in it. They drew to Wolves. Every game, everywhere in here, like every time they come up against a team that can punch them in the mouth, they've done it so far in 2026. I think there was a point where they were the best team in the world, right? When they beat Bayern, 100%. But they weren't playing with like a cocky arrogance to them. They were playing because they wanted to get to the top. Somewhere along this path, it's changed, and now it's just a house of cards. And I'm ready for it to. I'm ready for it to fall apart.
We'll be there.
They're front runners, bro.
It's crazy. The whole stay
they
humble
don't end up with
thing.
trophies. Like this is the whole thing that I think we've even argued with Zach about it. Like I have no problem talking shit.
I don't either.
Back it up. Back it the fuck up. And
they've won nothing.
The all Arsenal fans, I know you guys can't fucking get on the pitch and play. So to your point, like I don't want to fucking hear it though. If your team is going to do the same shit year after year and then you're gonna come at me with chest, and then go hide at the end of the season
No,
or in the off season. Like I fucking so over it. So if you're gonna come with chest, but at least fucking walk away with a trophy at the end of the year.
I think that the Arsenal team that competed with City a couple years ago was the last time I think anyone has felt like good about the way Arsenal has played. Like it's just become a de-evolution to what they built, and it's now just this. It's an
Bunch of
act.
brutes.
Yeah,
Running
dude, they went
around, bullying
physicality, and look, the 4-1 result against Tottenham is flattering, right? Like that's what I have to say on that. And then it's all of these types of performances. They beat Sunderland 3-0 at home. They beat Leeds 4-0. And then they come up and they play a team like
Or it's just
Wolves.
Odegaard.
They play United, or they're going to end up playing City and or Brentford. And when teams can match them physically, keep them within matches, they crumble. And I look, I'm a rival fan of City, and I don't enjoy watching Arsenal play. I've tuned into every game this calendar year,
Oh,
and I go
sorry.
into it and I go, this is fucking awful football. It's not enjoyable to watch. And any Arsenal fan that tells you that they like their style of play is one, lying to you, or two, just being as facade and all that shit that I just spewed about the team. Because that's a lie. You don't enjoy the way your team plays. This title team is going to be if they were to go on and win it, it would be the least enjoyable title team to watch throughout a calendar year.
I can respect that though, because they actually won it. To go and do this all year and not win it, you will hear from me.
Again.
You will hear from me.
Well, they have another one of those games where I think a team can match up with them pound for pound. And it's the perfect time to add in this little beauty. Extra time. Chelsea takes Arsenal. As Grant said it in the beginning, I think we're using extra time to when we have previews, just kind of slide in the thing we were already going to do. So if you didn't see this extra time coming, here it is. Yeah, Chelsea, after a bad result, take on Arsenal coming off a North London Derby victory. It's a huge game for Manchester City. But it's huge for everyone involved. Can Arsenal do it? Will this be the 4th time this season? No, 3rd time.
Beating us? No,
time,
they
'cause you
beat
guys
us in
drew
both
again.
thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah, because you drew the first one. So can Arsenal do that? Stay above City? Or will this turn into a point where Chelsea maybe can kick on through a tough stretch of games, beating one of their biggest rivals? And there's a lot we can talk about in this game. I don't really know how it's going to go, because I know that Chelsea always show up for these games. They've done that throughout both, except for when Liam Delap played right wing, which that shouldn't happen again. But what I can't say is I think Palmer plays. You don't have maybe let's start with Chelsea. I know what we do these Arsenal previews.
I don't even want to talk about them.
So we're not. What do Chelsea do here without Fofana to potentially get a win? Like where's your head at, Grant?
My head is currently at finding a way to lose power at some point on Sunday. Because, I mean, like you said, I mean, I think I talked about it in my video, and then a little bit when we were talking about it. I have no reason to have confidence going to this game other than being a fan. And that's really what it's all about. But I'll give you another reason. The last time we won at the Emirates, we were owned by a Russian oligarch. And Romelu Lukaku scored on his second debut. So there's another one. But yeah, we're calling. It's almost like a call to action for, can someone step up in this team? It's very unfair to ask a Mamadou Sarr to be that guy. I think that's obscene to even put him in that position. But I don't think I will physically be able to turn on the television if I see Tosin Chalobah as the starting center back pairing. I will not turn that game on, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, that would be like, you guys ever watch Clockwork Orange? Where
Yeah.
like they're forcing the guy. Yeah, that would be me watching Tosin and Chalobah at the Emirates. That would be almost as bad as Badia Shield Disasi at the Emirates when we lost 5-0 with Alfie Gilchrist starting at right back. But yeah, I have no fucking clue. Again, Palmer's definitely going to play. I think he's looked better of late, even though, again, in the Burnley game, his touches were incredibly loose. I think he was a big part of the problem in us not being able to get that second goal and put the game away. He doesn't avoid any accountability there. João Pedro's been phenomenal. He gave Gabriel and Saliba a long day at the office in that Delap right wing sesh. Esteval's getting a hamstring scan. So our only available wingers are Garnacho and Neto. In the midfield, that's the only place where you can somewhat have some confidence, right? Lavia coming back from fitness, he'll be on the bench. But Santos, Caicedo, Enzo's probably going to start as well, whether it's that left wing role or the 10, whatever the fuck. So you have that going for you. But again, the defense, Cucurella's hurt. I do not want to see Malo Gusto play left back ever again.
So is Hato slotting in there for you?
I would think so.
Okay.
I cannot watch Gusto play left back, especially after that fucking no-look pass. It's shit like that is unacceptable for me. Just like when Delap didn't put that goal away at Hull. It's the same sort of thing. Why is that even happening? That shouldn't... it's a split second. I don't care. It's unacceptable. Like, those mental lapses are inexcusable for me. Like, you can be shit, right? You can just have a bad hit of a ball and you sky it, whatever. That happens. But a mental mistake is unacceptable for me. And unfortunately, our defense is filled with them. Yeah. Our defense is filled with them. One of Garnacho or Neto, God forbid, both might start. I have no confidence.
I actually look at this Chelsea team and I think I have a little more confidence because that, like I said, the facade thing with Arsenal is true. Like, that offense is not good. Eze
was too lazy to put up the facade.
Eze and Gyökeres has only been good against relegation fodder.
We gave him a goal.
And Eze has only been good against Tottenham. And so with that in mind, even if you guys do trot out those defenders, you might give up a goal. But the one thing that I've noticed from Arsenal of late is their midfield just hasn't been as good. Like, nowhere near it. And Zubimendi's been poor. I think Rice has had mistakes in him.
Oh, you're right.
So if I'm looking at the midfields right now, and I was asked, like, who's the better of the two midfields right now? Is it Rice, Zubimendi, Eze, or Enzo, Caicedo, and Santos? I think I'm taking Chelsea's midfield right now. And that's how you win
put
this.
Our midfield up with any midfield in the world. And then we have those jokers in attack and the jokers in defense. So
it's not he's a joker, but he has to step up. It's time. Palmer's got to take the game. There's going to be moments for Palmer to take control in this match. And if he doesn't take it, you guys will either draw or lose. So I think your midfield will stable out the defensive portions. Like, I think Caicedo helps with that, but it comes down to
wait till they get a corner.
Can your star boy be better than their star boy? Because if you
take much this season,
either of them,
it doesn't matter because if they get a corner, it's. Do you have any confidence in that? They can't defend a set piece against fucking Burnley.
I think Robert Sanchez needs to be better than this one off corners than he was in the EFL.
To be fair, Rosenior also did implement the anti-Arsenal tactic. He was probably the first
we did that. I think we did that earlier in the season with Maresca.
Which is
did
fine.
It sparingly.
I know, but you guys exactly like you guys have an option to counteract it.
And he's been very proactive as a manager. I think again he's getting clowned all the time. I think that shit's been a bit corny, but everything he says after a game, I agree with. Where it's like, yeah, these things are unacceptable, and I'm starting to learn who I trust in this team in those types of moments. Like, oh yeah, weed them out, please do. So I guess in that sense, he did sort of come in at a good time where he gets to have his hands on a little bit, but he can figure out that the shit guys are shit. So I'm enjoying that part of it, but I'd love to see it get implemented. Obviously, that's a lot easier said than done. It's a bigger squad as well that you have to manage that. These personalities, you've got those criminals that are your bosses that sign your paychecks. So there's a lot of pressure in that seat, but I cannot look past how shocking our defense is. I can't. And I know that their attack, I've said it myself, that attack does not scare me in the slightest. What does scare me is when one of our wingers doesn't track back. It's a 1v1 against the fullback, kick it off his shin, corner. I'm worried. So as much as I've trusted Robert Sanchez this year, the amount of times we have conceded off of a set piece, we might be breaking records, like per capita, for every dollar spent on defenders, for how many goals we concede off these set pieces. It is infuriating. And he's also addressed that specifically. I've been saying it for maybe a year now. But That's really my biggest worry. I'm being deadly serious. That's the biggest
I think I'm kind of with Dylan on this one. I think Arsenal. You guys have played them a lot. Like you should have a little bit of an advantage in that sense, in that Arsenal don't know how to change up their style.
Mhm.
They play one way, and that this is the fourth time you guys are playing them this season. It's Rosinier's third time playing them this season. He should have something for us. Whether it just be tactically. Personally, I would rather them just jam pack the midfield defensively, and then you can break after that, I guess. But that's a lot of running for the wingers. But I would prefer them just
they're
jam
good
pack
for.
that midfield, and to Dylan's point, just be a constant nuisance for the Arsenal midfield. Do not let them have anything. And then if the ball gets out to the winger, you have a one-on-one for Hato or James. But you just need to control that midfield and make it as hard as possible for them. If they get beat on the wings, they get beat on the wings. But don't let them out that midfield. Because to me, in that Tottenham game, they were doing good pressing for spurts of the game. They were making it hard for the Arsenal defense. But then one guy wouldn't step, or one guy would step too hard, and then they had free roam in the midfield to do whatever the fuck they want, and that's when the game opened up.
Yep. That should be a big difference for Chelsea too.
Yeah, I mean, Santos and Caicedo are a big upgrade. Also, Paulinho had to drop into the center back for that game. I feel like he probably would have played midfield and offered a little more. But Caicedo, Santos, kind of holding it a bit. Enzo, and I don't know what you could do. A 4-2-2 makes sense to me, but are you going to change up? I don't know.
Enzo's
I do think there's ways to get at Arsenal, though, with what you have, is my point behind all this.
Agreed. You are not wrong. And again, my counter is against Leeds, we played flawless football for all but 6 minutes. And that cost us 2 points. So we're very capable of, in as little as possible of an opportunity, to give the most. We're so generous. And it could just be recency bias, but that's what's stuck in my head, is just us giving games away. And it would take a lot of mentality to turn that around in a one quick game, to go play the best team in the league. They got the most points, to go turn it around and have a proper performance against them. We have the players for it, no doubt in my mind, right? I mean, I'm just thinking Robert Sanchez's quality, Reece James, Moises Caicedo, Cole Palmer, Enzo, like João Pedro, more than enough guys. But you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? And our weak link is highlighted under the spotlight. Everyone knows about it. So being on this side of it, as much of, maybe it's a little bit of just a depression cope, right? With just a gimmick reverse jinx. Nah, bro. Like it's I don't feel great about it.
All right. Well, let's do predicties for this one, and then we'll do the rest, and we'll get on out of here. I'm going 2-2. I think that Chelsea step up, and I think that we didn't see Caicedo in a lot of these games that have been played. He's going to be my man of the match.
I like that. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea, though. I don't think either team is going to be happy with the draw in this situation. It's kind of not worth anything. So I expect one team to walk away with the win, because I think they're both going to open up towards the end if it is 1-1.
Yeah, that's what I had. I had a 1-1. That's
1-1.
my optimistic pick. Yeah, that's my optimism pick right there.
Caicedo was also my man of the match, though.
Yep, same.
Okay.
I think that's been like my past 3, because I was just kind of riding the wave of like, okay, he's got to hit one, and he didn't. But yeah, I feel like he's bossed a lot of these sort of games where you call upon the midfield to step up. So, Moy, what do you have for me?
All right, let's transition out of this game and into the other ones. Mila is back. The first game is the Manchester City versus Leeds game at Ellen Road. Leeds are in form. City are in form. That's a tough match. I think the City are just rolling right now. I'm going to take City to win. I'm going to take a 2-1 here. And I think it's off the back of Semenyo.
Careful. Okay.
Semenyo. I don't know who's starting. This is the issue. I know one player that's going to start.
Holland doesn't. Holland doesn't like to score against Leeds because he has
his
an
dad.
affection for them.
Yeah.
He loves Leeds.
Yeah. Semenyo 2-1. One of you two can predict something.
I'll go real quick. 2-0. 2-0. Father of four, man of the match.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like
Bold.
it.
Bold indeed. Let's go 3-0. Let's go Ait-Nouri. Let's do a special one.
Nice. All right, we got to speed this up. My camera's about to die, and I'd like myself to not freeze. United take on Crystal Palace at home. I think we win 2-0, and I'm going to go with Bruno as my man of the match.
I'm going to go 1-0. Cunha.
One.
And your man of the match?
Dean Henderson.
That, you know what? That feels safe. And that is where we'll end it because the Grant Jinx lives on forever and always. Thank you guys for coming along this journey with us. Obviously, if you've made it this far, like, comment, share, subscribe. We are at 285 subscribers as of today. So hopefully by the next video, we'll hit 300. But we'll leave it there. That's Mila. That's Grant. And I'm Dylan. This has been Clash of Clubs, episode 86, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
2 words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal! Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent! Potentially life-changing! That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.